Do you know, I can't separate the design and the logos. I'm big into logos. I absolutely idolise some of these riders, and they had like, I only found out the other day about what 1-800 Pro Collect was. Was it 1-800 Collect?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
1-800 Collect.
Yeah, it's like 118, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like reverse charge or something.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? All right, there you go. I thought it was tactical.
That made that so cool for me. I didn't
So
know
you're on
what
about
it
like
was.
McGrath's gear when you had it on the back of the jeans on the Honda and stuff like that. Yeah.
Like the logo, that logo, really, that's a naff business to be running that. You know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
But for me at the time, that was only cooler because you had Slim Jim, for instance. It's like Pepperami on your helmet, but it's cool. I can't separate what makes it good almost, because it's like something that you can't even put your finger on why it's so cool.
I think that the branding from the energy drinks is strong. You know, there's been some money chucked into, you know, the designing of that and the way that it looks, the red, the silver, the blue, even if it's the black. When we're painting a lot of the Monster helmets, you know, I've spoken to the bosses at Monster in America, it might be at Supercross or whatever, and they're going, Tomo, look, listen, not being funny, all we want is a black helmet with claws and Monster Energy on there. Like the riders want this, they want that. Thomas Covington, his old man's running the joint, and he's like, even my son wants all the fancy shit on there. I just want a black helmet with Monster logos because it's strong. The Red Bull is strong in its own company because it's just like very iconic now because of the silver and the blue. So they've made it quite hard for other brands to come in and have that presence and try and, how do you create that new Nike tick on the helmet equivalent? Fucking hard.
Sorry.
No, you go.
You're like a connoisseur of helmet art, which I think is amazing. When did this start to happen? Can you see a trajectory of going back to the 80s and 90s? That it wasn't like that. The helmet sent like more of a personality expression than a branding exercise.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the brands have definitely come on board. I mean, you could have looked back at some of the earlier helmets that were painted, and it maybe start off with the goggle brand on there. It might be JT Racing.
Okay.
Oakley would run a sticker down the side there on Jeff Ward's helmets or Ricky Johnson's. It'd just be a sticker. So what happened was, I think that the companies then recognised that the prime time of any gear or bike graphic was the head.
That's the real estate.
That's the real estate.
Yeah.
And that's when they started to tune in. And the clever companies like Red Bull and Monster, Red Bull, I mean, they've been going for many years now. They've jumped on board and they've kind of taken over the estate of the helmet, which is the real estate. You're not taking a picture of the rider's arm and his shoulder. You're going to take a picture of the crash helmet. The goggles, you can see his eyes, and then really good photos on the start line. Might be at the top of a downhill or a start gate or a Supercross or an MXGP. So they recognise that is the real estate, and the bikes get shitted up. So probably the last thing that gets shitted up is probably a crash helmet. I'm
trying to think as well about when I first started noticing it, and for me, it's gonna the only one I can picture. I'm probably wrong, because I really need to think about it more. But would be Mike and Jeff Alessi back in the day. They had Hansen's Energy down the chin strap, and even I think kind of before that, the helmets that I used to love would be like a McGrath one. Yeah, the one with the I posted one recently on Instagram, but it's like he had a Stars and Stripes off the back, blue.
It was like full chrome.
Branded. Yeah, it's like, it wasn't branded. I remember seeing it in TLD and being like, and think there's not that many brands on there. You used to have like your helmet, your peak had like Kicker or whatever it was sponsored by.
You might have like GT cycles on there. I can't remember. Don't hold me to it.
But they weren't like.
Yeah, but that was there you go. Now they're iconic, and when you go to Troy's, they got all the helmets hanging up, and I think that one there maybe underneath the sort of glass counter and stuff like that. That's what I was saying earlier. When we can come up with a design that hasn't got all these brands chucked on it, which do look really cool, and then you've only got to think back 20 years ago, and no one really had the brands on there. You know, Red Bull were coming into the scene then. So
I guess the design was the product in a way.
Design was the product.
Because then they'd do a helmet off the back of it, and you could get a replica.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we're doing John McGuinness's helmets. It's an iconic design. It's kind of these Guinness colours, and they're all a little bit, you know, browns and creams and stuff. Generally not what you would have, but now we've just done his helmets for the TT. It's a billboard, you know. John loves a little bit of money. He wants to get paid, and why wouldn't he? Like he's chucking his life on the line every weekend, and he deserves every penny that those sponsors give him. But it is a billboard, which is, you know, when we started to do his crash helmets, you know, a few years, probably 5-6 years ago now. It's like, we're going to do the John McGuinness helmets, and we've just done Michael Dunlop's as well. Dunlop's is cool because it's okay. He's got the monster branding on there, but it's still a Dunlop kind of design with the blacks and the whites. But it's quite refreshing not to put a million sponsors' logos on there.
Yeah,
but I get it. You know, it's all about getting a few quid.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, man, what an episode that was. You did amazing in it.
And so did you.
You shone like a star.
You shone like a moon.
Can we also put something up here that you can click on for the next episode?
How about we put a subscribe up there in the middle?
Yeah, I love
We're going to put a video we think that our lovely companionship will love on your face.
Oh, my face?
Yeah. And
So
on
they can't see me now?
Gone. And on my face, another video that we think people will love. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. You guys are the best.
Peace and love.